So, in this place, if one thing is very predictable, it is the pattern of psychotic harassment, intrusion, surveillance based aggression, and the predictable downstream side effects of voicemails that I leave for the Greenville group. So, there's a cycle right now going on of me lying on my bed in the early evening to take a nap, of me lying on my bed quietly sleeping and then getting electronically assaulted by the psychopath, sex offender, autism spectrum, hate stalker named Jasmine Irizarry, who the Greenville group continue to use to harass tenants that they don't like. And this person likes to electronically assault me while I lie on my bed in the early evening, sleeping or trying to sleep. This is a silent activity that nobody should have any knowledge of. And yet I continue to get electronically assaulted very aggressively every single time I lie on my bed, anytime before midnight, trying to take a nap or to rest, et cetera, et cetera. So then I have to call the Greenville group, leave them voicemails explaining that their psycho trash, psychopath, hate stalking, obsessive reject sex offender, Irizarry, is continuing to use a directed energy weapon to electronically assault tenants whose personal activities she has moment by moment knowledge of, based on the fact that the Greenville group have admitted to using surveillance devices in this unit and are, quote, doxing my personal activities, habits, conversations, practices, cleanliness, whatever it is they think they can get on me. They're doxing that to anyone and everyone who might happen to feel like having any kind of knowledge of what I do. I don't even know why anybody would want to have any knowledge of what I do. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a political figure. I'm not a famous sports athlete. I'm not anything that anybody would have any interest in. I'm a hobbit. You fucking idiots. I am a fucking hobbit. Do you know what I'm talking about? No, they don't. They're the stupidest people on the planet. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote a series of fantasy novels in the 1920s, or maybe a little earlier. No, I think it was the 20s. That ended up being one of the biggest blockbuster movie series of all time, called The Lord of the Rings. And in that series, a group of very small, unassuming creatures called hobbits were tasked or charged with a very important mission that nobody else could carry out, just the hobbits. Even though the hobbits were just average, everyday townsfolk that didn't have any special anything going on. They weren't particularly wealthy. They're pretty much average Joe Schmoes. So what I'm talking about here is that I'm a hobbit. Why is it that the surveillance devices in this unit are being used to live stream my personal activities to a bunch of mentally disturbed psychos who then refuse to leave me alone? There's nothing interesting about me. I'm not a supermodel. I'm not a famous actress. I'm not a sports figure. I am not Hillary Clinton. Maybe some people might want to watch Hillary Clinton use her bathroom, but if you're into that sort of thing, you're just severely disturbed and you should be locked up, right? I mean, I'm 52 years old. What is there to perv and creep all over? Really, these people are so mentally disturbed, like it's embarrassing. If you're perving and creeping all over what a 52-year-old does in their bathroom, you have some serious issues and have a very miserable, low life kind of no life, right? So earlier this evening, I left 2 voicemails for the Greenville group, threatening to, once again, I've already filed a restraining order in court against them. It has to be delivered by constable. That's the rate limiting step right here in the chemical reaction of this restraining order situation. But I will do it. And I reminded them of that in the voicemail that I left at, 7 p.m. and then another one at 7:15, because the use of a directed energy weapon intensified after I left the first voicemail at around, 6:45, 7. So I left a second one and then threatened to charge them the $350 fee that it costs to order a EMF meter on Amazon. An electromagnetic frequency meter retails for about $250 to $350. And because the Greenville group know that Jasmine Irizarry is capable of this sort of thing, they're probably the ones who are telling her to do this, then they know that I will absolutely have to order an EMF meter to quantify the amount of electromagnetic output that is being directed into my living space when I lie on my bed or into my bathroom when I try to use a toilet or take a shower. So then it stopped. That's the point of this video. It stopped. So there have been no further electronic assaults from Jasmine Irizarry's directed energy device since around 9:30 this evening. So once again, I've established the cause and effect that I keep saying is happening. There is a cause and effect relationship between the Greenville Group's management staff and Jasmine Irizarry's use of a directed energy device to electronically assault me based on 3 very specific silent activities that I engage in the privacy of this living space that nobody should ever have any knowledge of, but that they obviously do because I keep getting electronically assaulted or otherwise violently harassed every time I do one of these 3 things. One of these things is lying on my bed. That's a silent activity that nobody should have any knowledge of. But within minutes of me lying on my bed quietly, late in the afternoon or early in the evening, and trying to take a nap, Jasmine Irizarry electronically assaults me with the directed energy device that she herself has admitted to using multiple times on social media in her own writing with her own name attached to the comments. So, when I keep saying that somebody is doing something, and then not only do they keep doing it, but then they admit in writing on social media to doing that one thing, then I don't have to prove anything. They've just proved it for me. And a directed energy device is actually pretty commonly used by various groups and, sort of, I don't know, like groups, right? Like it's not just one person, it's a group. It's the Greenville Group and their sponsored paid sex offending psychopath named Jasmine Irizarry. Mr. Oleg Alexiev, the property manager, has bragged about how talented Irizarry is at hacking. He said she can hack into anything. He also referred to her as their surveillance expert, and other maintenance managers have also referred to Jasmine Irizarry as Greenville's surveillance expert, along with a former staffer. So, that's not me making things up. That's the Greenville Group admitting to doing what I keep saying that they've been doing for years. And every time I leave a voicemail and threaten to charge them the $350 for an EMF meter, et cetera, the directed energy assaults stop very suddenly. So there we go. Cause and effect, as I keep saying.